Hi and welcome back to the Rideshare Buddy YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Kevin and today we're going to be diving into 5 top tips that I use to make money on Uber right here in the UK. So whether you're a new driver, thinking of signing up, or have been driving for a while but want to look at ways in which to boost your earnings, this is a strategy, or 5 tips from my strategy, on to how to earn money as an Uber driver today in the UK in 2025. So this video is going to be packed with actual advice that actually works. So grab a cup of coffee, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get on with those 5 top tips. So tip number 1 is you've got to know your area. You've got to know your area like a master. So you need to know where the traffic hotspots are. You need to know the timings of traffic. Different areas will have different rush hours. You need to understand where the most profitable areas are and things like that. So let's take a quick deeper dive into knowing your area like a... Yes, I know we've all got sat navs. Yes, I know we've got the Uber app which directs you. But if you know the roads that clog up during the rush hour and you can avoid them, then you're onto a winner. If you know where the roadworks are and you can avoid those, then that's great. So it's really avoiding the congestion, because as long as your wheels keep moving, you're going to keep earning money. So that's number 1, know your area like a pro, and that includes local events and what events are profitable and what events aren't profitable. So I know everybody in this area, Newport, everybody heads into Cardiff once we have the rugby on. We'll all head into Cardiff once we have a big concert on. The problem is the roads get clogged up and you can't move around. So even though you might make £30 or £40 on a fairly short job because you're stuck in traffic, you're never going to make as much as when your wheels are turning. So I avoid Cardiff during the big match days, whether that's football or rugby, and also when they have the big concerts. And we took like Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, which brings in thousands of people and just clogs up the city. So I avoid those. What I try and do is target mid-size events, because for mid-size events, there's not as much traffic, but they can be just as profitable because you're moving your wheels. So for instance, the races at Chepstow brings in a lot of people, but it's not so much that the roads get clogged up. Local music festivals, always busy down there at a music festival, but not as busy as an Ed Sheeran, not as busy as a Taylor Swift, and the roads don't get clogged up, but you keep moving. So don't be too worried about only targeting mid-size and smaller events. They can be more profitable than the big ones. So the other thing you need to look at are timings. Do you have specific times in your area where things are busy? Morning rush hour, afternoon rush hour, commuters wanted to go home, schools, night schools, college, evening college is a very popular one here in Newport. Adult education, they go out, they do their Tai Chi or English or whatever at the local college. Always a busy time, about 9 o'clock on an evening as people head home after they've done the studies. So know your local area, know the local times where things are happening and when it's worthwhile coming out. Also need to know your local news in your local area. This is what it's all about, local knowledge. Are the trains on strike? If the trains are on strike, you're going to have a lot of business coming out from the railway station. And that's the thing you need to look at and to help you target your timing to earn some money and where to be during those times. You can normally find out a lot more about the events and the activities of your local area. I know Uber has the opportunities tab where it lists all the events. They're not well covered. Very rarely have all of the best events on there. Sign up to your local Facebook groups. Your local Facebook groups will show you where and when events are happening that you can target to try and earn some money from that. So tip number two now, is timing. Get your timings right. if you get your timings right, you can earn quite a lot of money in quite a short amount of time. But you've got to be out at the right times. It's a bit like fishing. You've got to know what time of day the fish are biting. And so it is with Uber. You've got to know what times the customers are going to be around for you to earn the money. And maybe, even though it's getting even rarer now, get an actual surge job. A lot of people tell me that in the morning rush hour between, say, 6:30 and 9 a.m. is a good time to drive. I've tried it. I've never made money on it. I've always been stuck in traffic because you've got both the school traffic and the worker traffic all combined, making a gridlock in the roads around Newport. So I don't go out in the morning. Don't want to get out of bed that early because I don't make the money that I want to. For me, what I find is from 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the afternoon is a great time. There's lots of traffic around, but not as bad as the morning. You've got the schools, drivers out and away doing their school trips, and you've got a lot of commuters now heading back to the station, particularly consultants who are in for the day. They need to get back. So that's a good time for me, between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Times will vary. It's going back to knowing your local area. Friday night, Saturday nights now in particular, is a good one. Starts off at about 7, 7:30, can go through to the early hours. I don't stay out that late. I normally finish by about 8, 9 o'clock. But if you're a night driver, I used to work nights, Friday, Saturday nights, great time to earn money. I like to work Sundays, or used to like to work Sundays before Uber cut the rates. Sundays can be quite busy. You got people going to church on a Sunday. You got people going to visiting family and friends on a Sunday. They can be quite good runs, especially Sunday afternoon. Good runs. Trains are normally affected on a Sunday. That's when they do all of the track works. So you can get some good runs, good solid runs out of railway stations on a Sunday. So know your area, know your local timings, and find out when it's the best time and where it is to go and work. So even in the so-called dead times, if you position yourself right, go for the hotels, go for the shopping centres, hospitals, park up close to there, you can keep yourself busy even during that 11 till 3 dead hour session. Can still be profitable. Tip number three, use Uber's boosts and promotions and surge wisely. Don't chase them, particularly don't chase surge, because by the time you get to the surge area, the surge will have gone. A lot of it's just fake surge. Don't trust it too much. If you're in the area, take advantage. If you can get some surge jobs, take advantage. The quests are quite good. Plan your timings to try and get that quest done. They're not as profitable as they used to be, but they can still add an extra £20 to your daily turnover if you grab them. Same with boosts. I tend not to do the boosts in this area because most of the boosts are in the small area in Cardiff. I try and avoid Cardiff because of the traffic. For the extra £2 a job you get or £3 a job you get, you may as well stay outside of that traffic area and run around and keep your wheels moving and keep earning money. So I very rarely get a surge job, but I do keep an eye on the surge. I don't chase it. I stay away from high traffic areas if that's where the surge is. It's not always worthwhile chasing the surge. On to tip number 4. Try and be a 5-star driver. My stats at the moment is 4.98. I've got 2 4 stars, 1 3 star, and 2 1 stars. So try and get that 5-star rating, because although that itself doesn't mean a lot, passengers do check the star rating of drivers. Uber T, you need to have a set star rating. If you chase after Uber Pro ratings, I don't. I've got a life to lead, so I'd never make gold, let alone platinum and diamond. You need to have a set Uber driver rating. Also, passengers will check, and if the driver rating is too low, they will cancel. I know that's happened to drivers. So try and keep your 5-star up as high as you can. Doesn't take a lot. You don't have to bribe them with sweets. You don't have to bribe them with water. You don't have to bribe them with anything. All you have to do is keep your car clean, keep yourself clean, keep the car smelling nice, and drive safely and smoothly. If passengers have a good ride, they'll score you and give you a 5. That's not a problem. So, yeah, additions like having charger cables. I have a charger cable for both Android and also iPhone in the car. If passengers want to charge up the phone on the way, I've got a cable for them to use. But that's about all the extras I offer. I don't offer sweets. I don't offer water. The profit in Uber is not great enough to start giving free things away and bribing passengers. Help with luggage, smile, greet the passenger by their name, and it'll soon add up, and you'll soon start hitting those 5 stars and getting your ratings back up if they've slipped. But cleanliness really is the big one. Keep the car smelling clean, keep yourself smelling clean, and just a comfortable ride. So what I tend to do is I make a mental note of when passengers say things how nice the car smells, and I'll try and buy that same air freshener. 2 I find really popular are the pure Mediterranean Sun, which has a real nice orangey tang, orange smell. And the other one that people like is when I clean down the dash, you've got the dash polish, give it a new car smell. And people do like that new car smell. But generally, something light and refreshing, Mediterranean Sun from Pure or something like that, and people will make a compliment. And if people are complimenting you on how clean and car and how nice it smells, you might do a winner every time. One last thing about being a 5-star driver is don't complain about previous passengers. Don't make comments about previous passengers. Don't complain about Uber. Really just keep things quite light-hearted, quite positive in conversation, and people like positive conversations. And finally, tip number 5, what you've got to remember is you are a business. Even though the unions are trying to get you classed as workers or classed as employed, you are not employed. You really aren't a worker. You are self-employed. You determine what jobs you do. You determine what hours you work. You determine the level of expenditure you are willing to put into the business. And I'll come on to that as well, actually, regarding car choice, because this really does come under the you are a business. Check what offer is on the passengers app for Uber, because in areas like Newport there is no comfort, there is no green, there's no nothing. So don't invest in a £30,000 comfort level EV if you can't get the benefits of that, because you can invest £30,000 in a car and you'll be paid exactly the same as somebody who's paid £5,000 for an old Toyota Camry. Don't overspend and overinvest on Uber's car. Go by going EV or comfort level if that's not an offer in your region. Not all regions have all cars, so make sure you check with your region, and if your region doesn't offer comfort, don't invest in comfort. Buy an old Toyota Prius, buy an old Ford Fiesta, because you'll earn a lot more money and a lot more profit than that than going out and investing in getting a new car or a decent second-hand car, because you'll only be paid exactly the same as a wreck. So have a look at what Uber offers passengers and make the investment according to what's on offer. You want to lay out as little as possible. So you also need to make sure you log all your expenses, car washes, car parking, fuel, air fresheners, anything that's to do with the business. Make sure you understand your expenses. Make sure you know how much it costs you in total per mile. because that way you can actually then start to determine which trips are profitable, which trips are not profitable. So you are a business, you are responsible for your own earnings, you're responsible for your own taxation. Don't talk and complain about Uber not paying enough if you are accepting jobs which aren't paying you enough, because it's your choice to accept a job or not accept a job. I know unions are trying to make this into a paid gig, an employed position. It's never been an employed position. It's not an employed position. It's a flexible way of earning income as a self-employed person. So treat it as a business. Don't treat it as a paid job. Don't expect Uber to give you all the money that you want. It's down to you. It's your choice as to whether you make money or make a loss. So that's it, my 5 top tips for earning money on Uber. You've got to know your area, know your roads, time your shift, work smart, serve with a bit of style and panache, but don't overdo the expenses, and treat it like a business. You stick to those 5 things and you should be able to make a profit, and a reasonable one. But it is tight now, fares are down, and my one big piece of advice is use your Uber earnings, use your Uber profits to invest in your own operator's license and start building your own work out, because that's where the real money is. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe and share if you did. Until next time, take care and make a profit out on Uber, out on the roads.